Hey guys, so just wanted to make a video since this is a hot topic right now, talking about the amount of copies Street Fighter V has sold since the last time we heard about it. This might be a surprise to you, might not be a surprise at all, but since April, Street Fighter V has only shipped 100,000 copies. Now that means it's still at the 1.4 million mark. Capcom, their target was to sell 2 million copies by March. And they're still at 1.4 million copies right now. We figured the game would bring up steam when the story mode was released, Evil, all the hype and all that, but it seems to not have helped the game at all. It's not a surprise to me because all the casual side of things, like the big source of people that are buying this game, the physical copies and all that, they don't really know the game is being updated, to be honest. Ever since the game came out. It's just more of the competitive side or the Street Fighter fans in general that have been picking up the copies. Now, like I said, since April till September 30th, the game has only sold 100k copies. This includes digital sales as well. This is not just physical copies. This is Street Fighter V as a whole, making Street Fighter V Capcom's 46th best-selling game. To give you guys a little perspective on this. Now, what Capcom needs to do to really sell copies, there's a million things we could say. We can say the game needs arcade mode. We could say the game needs more online modes, more offline modes. It needs a ton of things. Like they don't have the voice chat in the lobbies, and there's a million things we could say, right? But when it really comes down to it, Capcom really needs to let people know that the game is being updated and the game is more finished than it was when it was released. That a lot of these problems are gone when the arcade mode and the A-frame and all whatever else people are complaining about right now is being fixed. So let's say, for example, they release a new character tomorrow like Akuma. A bunch of stages. Everyone's super hyped. That's great. But it's still not going to help sales because it's the players that haven't bought the game don't know that this is all happening. Even if you release like a trailer on YouTube or anything, the only thing Capcom could do at this point, I feel, even though they promised that they weren't going to do this, is make another disc of the game. Okay, so Capcom said they're no longer going to make, Super Street Fighter V or Ultra Street Fighter V. But I really think they should do it. Because, if they release a new disc and they advertise it as a new game, then people will consider it because now, it's the finished version of Street Fighter. This is the complete version. And then that way, it will kind of just, start up the spark again to get people to purchase this. Of course, don't sell as a full retail game. And of course, don't screw over the people that already purchased the game. Maybe have it include all the DLC characters that came out. But all the people that already have the game, they don't get screwed over at all for this. There's no reason for them to buy this new disc. Everything, like they said, Capcom said, anything that affects the gameplay, is going to be purchasable with fight money or it's going to be free. They're not going to have anything that affects the game itself. But for people that are on the fence for Street Fighter V and then see the disc and it's for 30, 40 bones, right? Cheaper would be better. And they say, oh, all the DLC characters, including whatever the new Season 2 character is, if it's Akuma or something, right? Or a Tekken character. Shows Akuma and a Tekken character on the cover and it's Super Street Fighter V, whatever the fuck they're going to call it. And it's a complete version, 30, 40 bones. It's like, okay, maybe I'll get it now because now they have the story mode, the arcade mode, and whatever else that Capcom is supposed to have done. It's a more complete version. And that's what I think will really kick the sales. But if they just are going to bring Season 2, have a trailer video that doesn't really explain what's going on, what has been going on with Street Fighter V ever since the crazy Amazon reviews, then I don't think it's really going to help the sales. We're going to be relying completely on the esports scene of Street Fighter V, which is doing great. It is doing great, but that's only because there's a lot of money being put in Street Fighter V right now. Okay, we're not going to have this forever. They really need to rely on the casual side of things to keep things afloat. We can't just rely on sponsorships. They're not as big as PC game sponsorships. Fighting games aren't huge like you know what I mean, like League or Overwatch or something huge or Counter-Strike. There's only so much the esports side of things can do. And yes, fighting games have been getting bigger and bigger and bigger every day for sure, but the sales are really, really low. To give you guys a perspective, a list of games that have sold better than Street Fighter V, for example, on the list on the Capcom site, DMC Devil May Cry. DMC Devil May Cry sold more copies than Street Fighter V. Street Fighter Cross Tekken sold more copies than Street Fighter V. Dragon's Dogma, okay, just look at the list, man. Okay, so to say that Street Fighter V is on life support, they didn't hit their mark, right? The mark was 2 million copies. We're still at 1.4. If you guys are wondering, Street Fighter 4 has sold 3.4 million copies. But to be fair, Street Fighter 4 literally like rebooted the fighting game like scene. Like it's been a while since the fighting games between that point. Now there's like so many fighting games coming out, right? We got like Tekken 7 coming out. We got Injustice 2 coming out. Some really big titles coming out, man. And like Street Fighter 5 really needs that. I feel they really need that new disc copy. I really do. It's time to go to the dark side. And honestly, I don't think Capcom can like piss any more people off at this point by doing this move. I think it's completely understandable, unless they sell it for like 80 bones or some shit. But they should really sell it at like a cheaper price for sure. I don't know if I really have anything else to talk about. Like the only thing else I could talk about is just the stuff that they should add to the game. But I really feel like there should just be a different video entirely. Should we worry about Street Fighter V? We shouldn't worry per se because we know they're working on Season 2. We know they're gonna add more stuff to the game. So if you guys already have a copy of Street Fighter V, you know we're gonna get more content. I just feel like the way Capcom, how they do this move for Season 2, how they plan to advertise it and how they plan to launch this is gonna be the do or die of how this game does for the rest of like for 2017 to really determine if this game will see a Season 3. If Street Fighter V does fail, by some chance it fails, we're not gonna see a Street Fighter 6 for years. So it's, you know what I mean, Capcom is either going to do or die on this. It might also depend on Resident Evil 7 sales and whatever the else is going on. Because, you know, Capcom's not doing great right now. But we'll see how it goes, how they plan to do this. So just want to keep you guys updated on the sales. Tell me what you guys think, what Capcom should do. I'm sure there's a whole laundry list of things. But do you guys agree that Capcom should just resell another disc, like a physical copy of the game, to just make it feel like it's something new and fresh? I really think they should. Anyways, guys, that's food for thought this morning, I guess. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care.